welcome to the Goodbye Cycle podcast number 2. I'm Andrew, your host, and we're going to talk about our fun trip that we took last weekend before to Copper Harbor, Michigan. I'm sure if you've ever talked to somebody from Michigan, they're like, hey, look, I'm from here. But, this is just the lower part. There's this like whole upper part of Michigan. It's like this, Copper Harbor, way the F up here. I mean, we were up there and it was near the summer solstice. It was like 10:30 at night and you could still drive without your headlights. It was pretty crazy. Anyway, so Copper Harbor. Let's talk about its remoteness. Other than the fact that the trails are super gnarly, I mean, it's remote. And when I mean remote, I mean there's no cell service. The only time you make a call is if you connect to somebody's Wi-Fi, which is in town, to the 2 restaurants, Keweenaw Adventure Company, and the party store. Place only has like 100 year-round residents. I think that would be a stretch. Except during the summer, people going to Isle Royal, what have you. Let's talk about the riding. The riding is pristine, rocky. Don't get me wrong, there's some there's some handmade trails where berms, jumps, drops, you name it. It has a little bit of everything there. What I like about it, though, other than its remoteness, is there's a campground down the street. You can camp there and you can ride your bike into town, pay for the shuttle. Then when you're done, you ride back to the campground. Word of precaution when driving to Copper Harbor, about an hour south, there's a town. Pick up all your supplies. I mean, waters, food, because the general store, it does have some groceries, does have a few beers. It's like a 200 maybe 300 square foot store. There's not a whole lot going on. Lottery tickets, whiskey, beer. One of the cool things about Copper Harbor, Keweenaw Peninsula, other than the fact that it's remoteness, getting there is a whole trip. You go over this big, huge bridge. One side you got Lake Michigan, the other side you got Lake Huron. And if you're listening to this and you're watching this and you're like, oh, they're just lakes. No. These things are like the size of seas. They generate their own weather patterns. They have their own tides. They're unpredictable. You cannot see the other side. You're surrounded by Lake Superior, which Lake Superior water is so cold you can only swim in it for 20 minutes before you start freezing, unless you're the icebeard guy. The dude, this guy, surfs Lake Superior in the winter, gets this big beard of ice. Search him. He's on YouTube. They did a whole little documentary on him. He's kind of wild. We had a blast while we're up there. Campfires, cooking after, you ride, and everybody's friendly. The Keweenaw Adventure Company is who owns the shuttle, who will shuttle you to the top of Brockway Mountain. I do believe they're even part of the Loam Pass. So if you got the Loam Pass, you're golden. You can just take it right up to the top. You cannot stress the remoteness. This is not your typical bike park where you have cell service, Wi-Fi's plentiful. This isn't like Keystone or Trestle or any of the major ski resorts. This is like going to a remote island. A couple other benefits, though, that I should mention is the Superior whitefish, fresh fish, man. Caught the day before, caught that morning. You're not going to get any better fish. Fish tacos. Also, a weird little fact is they have this tree called the sugar popcorn maple sugar popcorn sugar something. Apparently, it's a genetic mutation that only grows in Copper Harbor, and we're talking thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars just to get a raw log. Who knew, right? But, to take a more serious note, not that we weren't being serious talking about these rocky, awesome trails made by Rock Solid, the guys that built Bentonville, they started in Copper Harbor. So that's just emphasizing how awesome they are. What I want to talk about is safety. When we were riding up there, the problem with Copper Harbor, I'm sure, and there's plenty of other places like this in the country, where we're out mountain biking, and sometimes you get separated from the guy you're riding with or the group you're riding with. There's no cell service, man. You crash and you break a leg, you are waiting for somebody to come. You can't call anybody. Then the next day we were riding, and Some of us wanted to go down this trail called Paul's Plunge. The double black diamond. Crazy, wet, rooty rock. I mean, this thing is safer to ride down than it is to walk down. And I got separated from the group. And I crashed. And I managed to get back on my bike and go. But when I come back out, everybody was already at the shuttle parking. And they were talking, they were having a good time. You don't anticipate somebody getting hurt. What if I did get hurt? I could have been out on Paul's Plunge, broken leg, bleeding out, whole works. And then it caught us, the simple thing. Walkie-talkies. I mean, let's just say it's just you and your partner. You're out riding. And you're at two different skill levels. You want to go down, one person wants to go down the black diamond, the other person wants to stay on the blue. Each of you have a walkie-talkie. It's simple. I mean, a walkie-talkie. Right? They have nice long-range ones, cheap ones, doesn't matter, 2-3 mile range. You just need anything to be able to say, hey, I'm down, man down, hey, rider down. Call for help. To have someone be able to pick that other end up knowing that there's somebody there going, yes, I will. Somebody will help me. You can take it into a step further. You go to any bike park, say Windrock. Okay, you're by yourself. You have a day, you're going to hit Windrock by yourself. Or Lake Leatherwood in Eureka Springs. Okay, the shuttle driver, Nick, he owns the gravity feed there. Super cool guy. You're riding by yourself. You leave the other walkie-talkie with the shuttle driver in the van. It's always with him. You crash, you can signal for help to the shuttle driver. Let them know, hey, I'm on so-and-so trail. Think I've severely sprained my ankle. Can you come to this intersection, pick me up? Or God forbid, he hasn't seen you in an hour and he starts trying to radio you and there's no response. No response. All right, hey, breaker 19, whatever you want to say, hey. And you don't answer. Well, he at least knows then something's wrong and he can notify emergency services to come and find you. Or better, and half the time they're super slow. And on the next shuttle up, there's 5 riders. And shuttle driver says, hey, we possibly have a rider down. You take this trail, you take this trail, you take this trail, you take this trail, you take this trail. Ride down and see if you can find this person. Let's just change it up. You're at Snowshoe Mountain in West Virginia. No cell service on the entire mountain. The only time you can make a cell phone call is with wireless, Wi-Fi, internet, whatever, and that's usually at the resort. When you are on the trail, you have no cell service again. Right there at the lift operator, be like, hey man, I'm riding by myself. I've got this walkie-talkie. Will you hold on to this over here? In case I get into trouble, I can let you know and you can have someone come get me, scrape me off the mountain. If I don't check in within an hour, mark the time. If I don't call you within an hour, will you try to get a hold of me and, we can round up emergency services? I just think it would be easy. I'm going to always start riding that way with walkie-talkies. Just keep them charged up, keep them in the truck. If I learned anything from riding Copper Harbor, it's that. And we need to look out for each other when we're on the trails. I've never met one mountain biker who wasn't willing to help, or any rider that wasn't willing to help another cyclist. That's one great thing about this community, and we don't want to change it. If you're heading up to Copper Harbor, make sure you try a pasties. It's kind of a meat thing in a bun, something like that, pasty, kind of a UP tradition. And yeah, it's kind of good. They have some other things, like there's some jam that's only local to the area. You got Copper Harbor Brewing, Widowmaker, super dark beer, looks like coffee, fantastic. They're right downtown Houghton, which is the Michigan Tech University's right there. It's the biggest town in the whole peninsula. Not in the UP, but in the peninsula. I mean, you got to understand, like the Upper Peninsula, when we mean remote, I think there's 3% of all Michigan people live in the Upper Peninsula, and it's 50% of our land mass. And ride safe, enjoy Copper Harbor, enjoy the bike parks this summer. But yeah, you're not going to see me or any one of the team members out riding. If there's going to be a spot where we don't have cell service or it's going to be sketchy, yeah, you're not going to catch any of us out without a walkie-talkie and letting somebody know. I mean, come on, what's his name? 27 hours. All you had to do was just tell somebody. If he had a walkie-talkie, he'd still have 2 arms. But again, thanks for listening to the podcast. Hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching this, sticker board's kind of plain. Hey, ship us a sticker. If you ship us stickers, we'll say, hey, look, we got this cool sticker. I'll go on the sticker board. Again, we are actively buying bicycles. Go to goodbyecycle.com and sell us your bike. Thanks for listening.
Got a quality bike you're not riding anymore? With Goodbye Cycle, selling your bike is fast, simple, and stress-free. Just snap a few photos and submit your bike details online. Get a fair offer, often within hours. Use your own bike box or borrow one locally. Need help figuring it out? Contact us, support link is below. Prepaid shipping makes the process hassle-free. Your bike comes to us for a full inspection. Once approved, we release your payment. And just like that, you're paid. Goodbye Cycle. No scams, no stress, just cash for your bike.